Week 8 of the NFL season starts here in Southern California.
Formula has to be different. We got to find a way to turn that page and to get back on track.
Short week, guys are already in the recovery mode now. We'll turn our guys over and go compete.
Every play, elite execution, elite balling.
It is Mason to the left. He broke the plane for the touchdown. Hurts under pressure and down he goes. Justin Jefferson on the run. Jefferson will not be caught. It's a touchdown.
Hey everybody, welcome inside the Zone with Mateo, and y'all know what time it is. It's time for our weekly NFL episode. Welcome to NFL Week 8. Sorry, what the heck am I saying? I don't know. Welcome to the NFL edition of Inside the Zone with Mateo, where we do my week picks and power rankings. It's Week 8 of the NFL. We're basically halfway through. It's crazy. There's 17, 18 weeks. I know next week will technically be mathematically halfway, but the way I see it, we're about halfway through the season. It's almost November. It is absolutely crazy, and I'm just ready to get into today's episode. So with that, let's head over to Mateo's show batting order, presented by To Be Determined. If you would like to sponsor this segment, which I basically use almost every episode, let me know in the comments, send me an email, send me a DM on Twitter, etc., etc., etc. But what did we learn from Week 7? I will be telling you 5 things I learned for Week 7 of the NFL. We will be seeing how well I did in my picks from last week, which I did okay this week again, about 50% as normal. Then I will make my Week 8 picks, hopefully to go above 50%, and get my completion percentage up into the 60s and maybe 70s, like 6-7. And then finally, we'll close out today's show with my Week 8 power rankings, which should be a blast. So everybody, let's dive right into it. What did I learn from Week 7 of the NFL? Number 1, as I said, there's our 5 things I learned. We're going to start off one by one, revealing one at a time. Number 1 is, boom, for the last time, I promise, we have no idea who will make the playoffs this year. Now, I've been just kind of basically repeating myself the last 3-4 weeks of saying the NFL is unpredictable. This is the last time. This is the last time I will say this for something I learned. Because what the heck happened this week? Whatever happened that week just solidified every single thing we've been thinking about this year of how good the Colts have been. Nobody saw that coming. Nobody saw other things happening. It's just solidifying everything we knew already. So now it's finalized. We have no idea who's going to make the playoffs. Anyone could win. You could have the Broncos complete a 33-point fourth quarter comeback against the Giants. That could happen, right? You just don't know. You could have the San Francisco 49ers, who are basically all hurt. All their stars are hurt, but yet they're one of the best teams in the NFC. I'm just saying, it's unpredictable, so I thought I'd just keep this as something I learned, but I promise we will have a different thing for next week. I promise you that. But I just don't know why. I do not know why. How is this even possible that this is so unpredictable? For the last 5 or 6, or can I say it, 7 years, it's been pretty much the same teams have been good and the same teams have been bad. There hasn't been any major major changes to kind of the power rankings. The power rankings always kind of stay the same. The script always stays the same, but I guess all the script writers just got bored and want to make fun with us. Make fun of us and say, "Oh yeah, you guys were so wrong from the start of your season predictions. Yeah, y'all thought Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson were going to win MVP. No, we're decided Baker Mayfield or or Daniel Jones or Sam Darnold will win MVP." And they're just doing that to us. I don't know why. But yeah, that's the first thing. We have no idea who's going to make the playoffs. We have no idea who's going to win any awards this season. We have no idea who's even going to win this week in the NFL season because it is so weird. The 2025-2026 season is literally unpredictable. The second thing I learned from week 7 of the NFL, sorry, we're kind of going fast through these, is boom, the Vikings need a quarterback. I'm going to rant. Okay. Ooh, all right. I have been waiting. I've been trusting Kevin O'Connell. I've been giving J.J. McCarthy time. I've been giving Carson Wentz time. I've been giving this whole team time. And yet, they have Carson Wentz throwing interceptions, throwing pick sixes, throwing stupid balls, overshooting the best receivers in the league. And the Vikings are 3-3. The Vikings are awful right now with Carson Wentz. I don't care if you only lost to the Eagles by 6 or 7 points. You could have won that game. I know there was officials. Officials messed up bad. Without the officials, though, if Carson Wentz could just be an average quarterback, the Vikings probably have won that game. But they didn't. They need a quarterback. We've seen Carson Wentz. He's not him. We've seen J.J. McCarthy for 41 throws in his NFL career. He's still mysteriously hurt. I don't think he's hurt. I think people are just saying he's hurt because they know he's a bust. The other dude, Max Brosmer, they're refusing to play. And they're starting Carson Wentz again tonight. Tonight, Thursday Night Football, which actually brings me one thing. Hey, if you guys want, if you want me to see my live reaction to the NFL game, to the Vikings game, tune in to my channel. I will be live, giving you a live play-by-play and reaction for the entire game. I'll probably take a break at halftime, but I will be live. First quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter, all tonight. Vikings at Chargers, Thursday Night Football, only on Prime Video. Anyway, thought I'd throw that in there. They're refusing to start McCarthy. They're refusing to start Brosmer. They want Wentz for I don't know why. We're hurt. We're banged up. I don't think Van Ginkel wants to play again because he's been hurt forever. CJ Ham hasn't even played a game. He's hurt. The O-line's hurt. Christian Darrisaw's a game-time decision again tonight. It's just awful, depressing. The Vikings are trash, and they need a quarterback. And why the heck would you get rid of 2 quarterbacks who are now both balling out in Indiana, and Washington State, Seattle? Sam Darnold having a great year. Daniel Jones having an MVP year. You could have had one of them. You got none of them. And you're stuck with Carson Wentz as your quarterback and a 3-3 record, about to have the hardest schedule predicted by the NFL. Predicted by ESPN, they have the 3rd hardest schedule. What are you going to do, Vikings? Are you just going to give up on the season? I don't know. But I think you need a new quarterback. I do not think J.J. McCarthy is that guy. I do not think Carson Wentz is that guy. Bring back Kirk Cousins if you will. Just try. Why not? Just try. You'll probably get him for fairly cheap because his salary is just stupid. Probably a 5th or 4th round pick. You could get Kirk for the end of the year. Release him. Don't have to pay him. Just try to make the playoffs. Right now, this team also doesn't deserve to make the playoffs. But what do I know? I'm just a annoyed fan who wants them to do well. That's the second thing I learned from week 7 of the NFL. The third thing I learned from this week of the NFL is this. The Bengals. The Cincinnati Bengals may be back. Okay, Vikings, let's take some notes here. Vikings, let's take notes. Your injured quarterback, right? You have an injured quarterback like the Cincinnati Bengals did, right? Joe Burrow got hurt. They started their backup for 2 weeks. Jake Brown was awful. Carson Wentz, awful. J.J. McCarthy hurt. Same thing. What did the Cincinnati Bengals do? They went out and got a new quarterback. Maybe washed, but with the best receiver in the game, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, if they just have the experience, they might just be able to get you a win against a playoff team. The schedule is not as hard as everybody thought it was going to be. On paper, it looked hard at the start of the year. Eagles, Chargers, Ravens, Lions. You're going to lose to the Lions, but you could easily beat the Chargers, who aren't that good. Got blown out by the Colts. The Ravens are hurt and just washed. With Carson Wentz, am I saying you're going to beat them? Heck no. Go get an experienced quarterback. There's experienced quarterbacks just waiting to get some play time. As much as I don't like Kirk Cousins, as much as I don't like Jameis Winston, they're just sitting there. Heck, Russell Wilson's sitting there. Call up one of those teams. Maybe it will work for you if it worked for the Bengals. Because the Bengals may be back. The fourth thing I learned this week from the NFL, from week 7 of the NFL, is this. The NFC West may be the hardest division in the NFC. I know you say the NFC North is talented. Yeah, they're good. You got 3 of those 4 teams in the NFC West. 5-2. The Rams, the Niners, the Seahawks. The Cardinals probably should be closer to that record than their 2-5. They should probably be around 4-3. Still competitive. They just got bad luck. Kyler Murray and James Conner went down. Any one of those teams could win the division. They're very good, well put together football teams. And I'm just saying, hey, be aware for any of those teams because I do think they could be making some damage and it's going to be a dogfight to whoever's going to make the playoffs out of that division. The NFC West is the hardest division in the NFC. So then the fifth thing I learned this week, what's the fifth thing I learned this week? Well, it's this. Boom. The NFC East is wide open. We're talking about a lot of the NFC this week. The NFC East is wide open. Now, the Eagles look a little interesting. I know that they had a great game against the Vikings. Their passing game had a huge game. Where's Saquon? Is the Madden curse actually real? I think it is. The Commanders just keep on getting injuries after injuries. I know the Niners have injuries after injuries, but like the Commanders' whole offense is hurt. No Daniels, no McLaurin, no Debo, no Eckler, no Cosme. I just feel bad for them. As a somewhat of a Commanders fan, mostly a Jaden Daniels fan, I don't want this. As a team who just likes the Commanders in general because they are a very likable team, why? Giants look pretty good. I know they lost. I don't think they're going to win a division. They're not going to make the playoffs. But I'm saying, hey, Jackson Dart, Cam Scatterbo. Imagine if Malik Neighbors wasn't hurt. Then you got the Dallas Cowboys, who CeeDee Lamb, Dak Prescott, and George Pickens are making some pretty good plays over the Commanders. The NFC West. Yeah, the Eagles will probably run away with it eventually. But I could see any of those teams winning the division if injuries happen and things happen. Let me know what you think about these 5 things that I learned from week 7 of the NFL. Oops. I kept week 6 on there. My bad. So the 5 things I learned from week 7 of the NFL was this. The NFL is still unpredictable. The Vikings need a quarterback. The Bengals may be back. The NFC West is the hardest division in the NFC. And finally, the NFC East is wide open. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And if you haven't already, please hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button. It really helps the channel. And I hope you guys are enjoying today's video. What's up next? Where you go back to Mateo's show batting order, and it's going to be accountability and week 8 picks time. Probably I like the power ranking. I love this whole um this whole episode. The NFL episode is always fun because it's something we constantly do throughout the NFL season because it's probably America's most loved sport. So here we go. Time to predict the unpredictable. So what happened? It's going to be my week 8 picks and a recap of how well I did last week. So last week I did 10-5, which is pretty good. There were 2 teams on a bye. It was the Bills and the Ravens, so no Josh Allen and no Lamar Jackson playing. With that 10-5 record from last week, I now have a record of 59-48. I have 59 out of 107, which gives me a 55% completion percentage. There are a couple teams on a bye week this week, as there are only 13 games to predict. There are the Lions, the Raiders, Cardinals, Seahawks, Rams, and Jaguars, all on a bye week. 6 teams, and 3 of the 4 NFC West teams that we were just talking about. So let's head over to NFLPerry.com. A lot of y'all in my shorts have been asking, what's this website called? What's this app called? It's NFLPerry.com. You can find it pretty easy. It's super fun. I use it to make all my shorts and to make all my predictions. So here's kind of a recap of who I picked last week. If you guys, you can stop the video if you'd like, but those are who I picked. But let's head over to week 8 to predict these games. As we said, the Vikings and the Chargers. We got the Vikings and the Chargers this week. Thursday Night Football, we got the Dolphins and the Falcons. We got the Jets and the Bengals. We got the Browns and the Patriots. The Giants and the Eagles. The Bills coming off a bye week playing the injured Carolina Panthers. No Bryce Young. We got Caleb Williams playing the Ravens coming off a bye. Lamar Jackson is expected to make his first start since that injury. We got the 49ers. What is that logo? I have never seen that logo in my life. Hold on, I saw week 7. Seahawks over the Raiders. Is that not the Raiders? Who did the Seahawks beat? Oh, is that the Texans? What is that logo? Is that the Texans logo? I think it is. Yeah, cool. Cool beans. That's the Texans' new logo, I guess. Cool. And then in the Sunday late slate, we got the Buccaneers and the Saints. Man, the Cowboys and the Broncos, and then the Titans and the Colts. Sunday Night Football is Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers playing Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers. And then Monday Night Football is the injured Commanders against Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. So let's start there. Monday Night Football is a pretty easy game to predict. The Chiefs are going to beat the injured Commanders. The Colts are going to beat the Saints. The Bucks are going to beat the Colts are going to beat the Titans. The Bucks are going to beat the Saints. I'm giving you all my locks, like the easy picks to make. I'm going to take easily the Bills over the Panthers without Bryce Young. Easily the Bengals over the Jets. Easily Drake May and the Patriots over the Browns. I'm thinking that those are going to be my easy picks for you. Oh, and the Falcons over the Dolphins. Now, the rest of these games are very interesting games. Let's talk about them. Starting off here with the Sunday late slate game with the Cowboys and the Broncos. It's basically a battle of the best offense against the best defense. So the Cowboys offense is pretty darn good, and the Broncos team is very good. The Broncos defense is a little better than their offense, but Bo Nix is pretty good quarterback as well, and I have a lot of respect for the Broncos. Now, if I'm thinking here, I feel like I want to go Broncos, and just because I want to go Broncos, that's going to be the deciding factor for me, just because I don't really like the Cowboys, okay? So it's nothing personally, it's just I don't like the Cowboys. And so I'm kind of torn. So, I mean, I could see both of these teams winning. That's kind of that simple. But give me the Broncos because, I mean, I like the Broncos and I like them a lot. Kind of same thing here. No, give me no. What am I talking about? The Niners why I'm being so hesitant on the Niners because of the injuries they've had. But no, the Texans are pretty bad. Give me the Niners all freaking day. And then give me the Eagles over the Giants. I feel like that's another lock I missed. And then give me the Ravens over the Bears. Give me the Steelers. Do I give me the Steelers over the Packers? Yeah, give me the Steelers over the Packers again because I basically just hate the Packers and I don't want to pick against them unless it's a blowout. Like if they were playing the Browns, like I picked them against the Browns and then they lose and then they just got me mad. I don't like the Packers. I want them to lose. They're 4-1-1. It's kind of getting annoying. Their fans are annoying. And give me the Steelers. And then we got the Thursday night football game, which I'm going to give you my prediction right now. Okay, so yeah, y'all join me for my live reaction, but something tells me. Now, I know Carson Wentz is going to be starting, but out of the next 3 games, the Chargers, the Ravens, and the Lions, this is the only game I think the Vikings have a chance at winning. So give me the purple and gold, the Minnesota Vikings. Submit my picks. There are my picks. Come on, Vikings. You know you're going to do this for me. I don't care if you're – I couldn't care less. Give me the Minnesota Vikings. Let's go. I do believe they're gonna. It's gonna be a close game. I think. I don't think it's gonna be a blowout. I think both of these teams are actually pretty bad. I'm not a fan of the Chargers. I've never really been a fan of the Chargers, and I just don't think they're that good of a team. I've never been a really huge fan on Justin Herbert as well. I could be wrong, and they could absolutely kill the Vikings, but I just don't think that's going to be it. I think the Minnesota Vikings win a close game. Justin Jefferson, let's go, boys. I don't care if it's Minnesota biased. I do not care. But anyway, that was time to predict the unpredictable, meaning all that's left is my power rankings. Your most favorable, your favorite, most favorite, my goodness, your most favorite segment of the week. I think it's probably one of my most favorites as well. As a reminder, here are the rankings from last week. I will put it on the side so you guys can remember them, so you don't have to. Yeah, I'm even taking a picture of it right now because I don't know if I have a good picture of it. There we go. Boom. So now it will be on the reset. Ooh, whoa, it's going crazy. It's going to be on the screen so you can kind of compare and contrast where I had them last week to this week. Starting off with the no, we're not. We're going to actually go because I'm keeping the Jets where the Jets are awful. They haven't even won a game yet. They're at number 1 pick contention, followed by the Saints. Actually, heck no. The Saints, yeah. Saints. Then we're going Dolphins. I'm sorry, Dolphins fans. Those are the 3 worst teams in the NFL. Actually, let me get all the worst teams out in the NFL. I just don't really want to talk about them. The Titans are bad. I have a little more respect for them, the Browns, because they beat the Packers, and then the Bengals. No, they're not number 1 pick contention no longer. The Raiders are awful. They got killed by the Chiefs, and then I think that is going to be it. Those are going to be my number 1 pick contention teams. So now let's get into that's in order. So 32 Jets, 31 Saints, 30 Dolphins, 29 Titans, 28 Browns, and 27 Raiders. So now we're going to just kind of do them in a random order like normal. We got the Ravens. The Ravens. Last week I had at mediocre at best. Obviously they were at a bye. You know the drill. I do not change their ranking if they were on a bye week. They're going to stay at mediocre at best for now. We got the Bengals. The Bengals have been in number 1 pick contention for the last 2 or 3 weeks. They're not just young but intriguing. They're not mediocre at best. I have them just missing the playoffs if they continue to be like this. Now, if they have an awful game against, they're playing the Jets, right? They're playing the Jets? Yeah, they're playing the Jets. They have an awful game against the Jets, and they lose to the Jets. They're going back to number one pick contention. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think this team could still make the playoffs, but I'm not going to have them as a potential wild card or a playoff team yet. Just a missing the playoffs team right now, because I do think they could even win their division. They already beat the division leader in the Steelers, so you never know what might happen. Congratulations, Bengals, for redeeming yourself slightly for at least 1 week. The Broncos, man. Oh, and then they're right against the Giants. The Giants, man, you blew it. Y'all blew it. You guys almost beat one of the best teams in the league, but you couldn't. The Broncos proved to be an insane team. They were a playoff team last year. Last week. They remain a playoff team this week. The Giants were young but intriguing, and I'm going to keep them right there because I just don't see them making the playoffs, and they're young but intriguing. With Jackson Dart, Cam Scatterbo, Malik Neighbors once he comes back from injury, which will be next season. But yeah, they're just a fun team to watch, and I'm excited to see what the heck happens with them. Got my Minnesota Vikings up next, and as you know, they were a potential wildcard team last year, and I'm going to have them behind the Bengals for now, at missing the playoffs for now. The Rams are next. They were a playoff team. They are still a playoff team. They won 35-7 against the Jaguars, who I have some respect for, and they're back into the playoff team spot. Okay, this was my number one team. My number one ranked team was the Buccaneers last year, and I'm sorry, you guys lost to the Lions, who are now my new number one team. Y'all are still going to be with them. You guys just switch spots for now in that order, because let me just do it right now. My number one team in the NFL right now, Super Bowl favorites. Give me the Colts. Give me the Lions. Give me the... Okay, boys, I had to do it. You know how much that hurts me to say. Chiefs and then the Buccaneers. Those are my top 4 teams in the NFL. Those are my Super Bowl favorites for this week. I know we're kind of switching up the format of how we do these a little bit, but those are my top 4 teams in the NFL. Those are my Super Bowl favorites. I do have one Super Bowl contender. Let me put that right there. Here is going to be the Eagles are going to go back up a spot after dropping to the playoff team last week. They're now back up a spot to my Super Bowl contender, and those are my top 5 teams in the NFL at the moment. We got the Chicago Bears up next, and I could see them doing good. They have a very easy schedule, so I'm going to have them right behind the Vikings at missing the playoff teams. Then we've got a strong playoff team in the 49ers, who have been doing so well with all these injuries. Highly impressive. Welcome up a tier into the playoff team tier. We got the Green Bay Packers. They're going to remain a playoff team right now as long as they keep winning, even if they're close games they shouldn't have won. They're a playoff team because they're 4-1-1. This hurts. This one hurts for sure. A playoff team last week. The Commanders just look hurt. They look like they are never going to get healthy, and they just don't look good when they don't have any of their pieces together, which is understandable. I have them mediocre at best with the Ravens. A 2-5 team that almost beat the Green Bay Packers are the Cardinals. They are up next, and I'm going to have them, again, ahead of these teams. No, they're 2-5. I'm going to put them behind the Bears and missing the playoffs right now. I do think they could put up together a little run, but it's really depending on health. They're staying and missing the playoff teams for the third week in a row. It might have to start dropping to mediocre at best if they don't get another win. But they're on a bye this week, so we'll see what happens. The Steelers are up next. They were a playoff team last week as well. I know they lost to the Bengals, but I do think the Bengals are pretty good. They're going to remain a playoff team. They're just going to drop down in their rankings. They're not going to be a top 6 team like I had them last week, but maybe more of a top 10, top 12 team. The Buffalo Bills were on a bye week, so I can't drop them much, but I will put them at the bottom of the playoff team. Well, I'll see how I do because I just want to make sure. I had them ahead of the Packers. So what do I need to do here? They were technically, but the 49ers jumped a tier, so it's fine. So I just have to do that. I have to move it like that. Okay, cool. There you go, Bills. Congratulations to staying in a playoff team because you're on a bye and you're probably going to win again. So you'll probably be 5-2 and you'll probably be back to a Super Bowl contender in a couple weeks or so. We'll see though. We will see. One of the teams that beat the Buffalo Bills were the Atlanta Falcons, and they had an interesting game last week. They were missing the playoff team. Wait, who did they play though again? I remember, like watching them, and I was like, okay, like okay. Um, oh yeah. That's right. They played the Falcons. They played the 49ers. Yeah, you're gonna be a potential wild card. I don't have anybody in that tier right now, so I'm gonna put you right there. I don't quite know what the heck's gonna happen with you. Like if the Bucks, because they're so hurt, let me actually move them down a Super Bowl contender. You could maybe take the division, but I don't know. You're just kind of a potential wildcard team that I don't really know what to do with. The Seahawks. I do know what to do with the Seahawks because the Seahawks were a playoff team last week, and they are going to remain a playoff team. Unfortunately for them, we can't put them ahead. I would put them ahead of the Bills, but I don't think it would be that fair to them. And I do think the Bills would probably beat the Seahawks. I think the Seahawks, I would take them over the Steelers sometimes, but I do respect the Steelers a lot. So I think keeping the Seahawks there is fine. They're still they're a 11th ranked team right now in the NFL. A team that's jumping every single week is this next team, and it's the Patriots. The Patriots, like, were at young but intriguing. They moved up to mediocre best, then to potential wild card, down to missing the playoffs, to playoff teams last week. They were potential wild card last week. And since they get to move up a tier, like the 49ers, they can be ahead of the Buffalo Bills. And I think the Patriots are my favorite to win that division. Give me the Patriots coming into the top 10 this week of my Week 8 power rankings. We're going to get the two Texas teams next. The Texans, who just kind of look bad, and they're going to be mediocre at best. I don't have to say much. And then this is a very interesting team in the Cowboys, whose their offense is good, their defense is awful. There's been rumors like a Max Crosby trade. If that happens, holy, they could be a playoff team right now. They were mediocre at best last week. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them as a potential wild card. I think they could sneak in. They're on my radar now. And we have some breaking news from Adam Schefter right now as I'm recording this. Is 3:03 p.m., October 23rd, 2025. Vikings officially activate running back Aaron Jones off the injured reserve, and he is expected to play tonight against the Chargers. Speaking of the Chargers, they're the next team on this list for me to rank, and I'm not going to put them high. They were missing the playoff team last week. Sorry, why do I keep saying last year? I don't know. They're going to stay exactly right there ahead of these other teams. I think a top 15 team, though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They're 16th right now in the NFL. That's pretty good. And then we got the Panthers, who aren't that good. They're kind of young but intriguing. I'll just keep them there. And then the same thing with the Jaguars. It's a lot of disrespect. The Jaguars, you can't do that. It just showed, like, they lose that much to a playoff contending team that they're just not ready for the playoffs. They're going to go back down to young but intriguing. And I'm sorry. Boys. I like you, but I don't think Trevor Lawrence is your quarterback. Travis Hunter's pretty good. Brian Thomas is pretty good. You just need something, and I just don't quite know what you need. But there are my Week 8 power rankings for Inside the Zone with Mateo. Let me know, guys, what you think. Did I cook? Did I not cook? Let me know. I always like to see what you guys think of my power rankings. I hope we can agree on some things and maybe disagree on the other things, and it's okay. But for my Spotify audience, especially because they cannot see my screen, let me tell you, 32 through 1 of my power rankings. At 32 are the New York Jets. 31 are the New Orleans Saints. At 30 are the Miami Dolphins. 29 are the Tennessee Titans. At 28, the Cleveland Browns. At 27 are the Las Vegas Raiders. 26 Jaguars, 25 Panthers, 24 Giants, 23 Texans, 22 Commanders, and 21 are the Baltimore Ravens. 20 are the Cardinals, 19 are the Bears, 18 are the Vikings, 17 are the Bengals, 16 are the Chargers. 15, huge jump at 15 for the Dallas Cowboys. 14 are the Falcons. 13, the Packers fall, even though they're 4-1-1. That's kind of crazy, I guess. 12, yes, 12. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Yeah. 12 are the Seahawks. 11 coming out of the top 10 are the Bills at 10, starting the top 10. Steelers. 9 are the Patriots. 8 are the 49ers. 7 are the Rams. 6 are the Broncos. 5 are the Philadelphia Eagles. 4 are the Buccaneers. 3 are the Kansas City Chiefs. 2 are the Detroit Lions. And number 1, Indiana Jones and the Indianapolis Colts. There are my Week 8 power rankings. I hope you guys enjoyed them, and I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if you liked it. If you liked it, also, just hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, turn the notification bell on so you never ever miss an episode of Inside the Zone with Mateo. I just released my reaction and just kind of debriefing the first game of the season for the Minnesota Timberwolves. It's listed right here. Subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you guys in the chat for my live stream of the Thursday Night Football game tonight. And if you guys are watching this other than Thursday, October 23rd, I hope you guys would check out the stream and check out the other videos and my shorts. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Do not forget to keep God first, because He is the most important thing in your life, and that will ever be in your life. Other than like sports is great, God is so much better. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Hopefully see you around, and I'll see you guys in the next video for sure. Peace out, everybody.